hopefully we should be competitive here. I think we've clearly had a consistently strong car this year, but with the temperatures here, I think it'll be interesting to see how that affects different people. I think trying to pick our kind of main competitor this weekend is pretty tough to choose at the moment. So let's see, but I think we should be in a good place.
We feel good, and we feel confident we're the best, but the others are certainly not far behind and are consistently putting pressure on us. So one little mistake and we're behind, and we're not where we want to be. Otherwise, it's just another weekend. It's another weekend where we're trying to improve. I'm sure others are trying to improve and try and get ahead of us. But just making sure I have a good weekend and a clean weekend is the main thing.
The pace has fallen out where we thought, that step behind McLaren, and then a close fight with Red Bull and Ferrari, and we've been doing really well to get those podiums, but I don't think it necessarily, and we're nicely P2 in the teams championship, but I don't think it necessarily means we are the second fastest team. I think sort of on average we've been the third fastest team. We saw obviously Charles had a great race last week, and obviously Max also the last couple of races, but we've just been nicely consistent and picking up points.
It's not been the first part of the season we wish we had, but it's the first part of the season we had. So now we need to focus on what's ahead and try to improve, just like we've done in the last 3 races. I think we've done good steps in the right direction. Now it's all about building on that and hopefully have the first victory as soon as possible. But I don't feel we quite have the potential on paper to fight the McLaren and the Red Bull on good days yet. But we've got to take the points that are available, and then whenever we'll have the car to fight for wins, we've got to be there to win. But having said all that, I still go into this weekend with one goal in mind, which is to win on Sunday, and we'll do our best.
I think it's going to be very cool. I mean, the vibe is great, and I think it's going to be really exciting. About the car, I think we've been very consistent, especially qualifying pace for us has been always very strong. And so I think hopefully this weekend we can still be fighting for front rows in qualifying. And then about the race, I don't really know what to expect. I mean, Jeddah, of course, we struggle a little bit, me and George during the race, but I think the track is still pretty close tarmac. Deck didn't seem to be very big in the previous races, so I think there will be a lot to fight for. And as I said, our qualifying pace has been strong so far, so hopefully we can repeat that, and then if we can start in front, we can hopefully fight for good positions.
We've not got upgrades or anything this weekend, but we continue to try and optimise the car, and obviously Charles in the last race did a fantastic job and showed what the car can do in a race, so the goal is to try to replicate that.
When you have a strong start, I think in most normal years you would say, let's keep this going, let's not take our foot off the gas pedal, and we'll continue to develop the car and focus, finish the season strong and try to cement P5 in the Constructors' Championship. But for us, it's for every team, it's not like that. It's almost like, okay, that's good, but still need to focus on 2026. So there's this period of limbo where we're in, and I think that we're still evaluating it. We need to be selective in what we do for this year.
Obviously, a first home race for the team, which is good because we started the week with seeing some partners of us, and it's just cool to be here for sure. But we need to stay focused on the racing. That's the most important. That's what we're here for, and looking forward to be driving tomorrow.
I think we're in a tough spot right now. We're not where we want to be. Not as competitive as we want to be. So it's going to be tough to score this weekend for sure, as it's been for the first few races. But we'll see what we can do.
I think it's extremely tight in the field, especially from the sort of position we're fighting in. Within 3 tenths, you could be in Q3 or knocked out in Q1. So it's just difficult. I think we've been able to really put things together the last 2 events. Not been very fortunate in the first 3 races, but I do feel we got the speed to fight. The Williams. AlphaTauri as well are very competitive at times, and also Haas. So just gotta be on top of our game and extract every hundreds and millisecond of our package, and I'm sure we'll be able to fight for those points.
The last couple of races, I think it's been difficult. On some tracks, we were a bit more competitive than on others. I think Jeddah in particular, I feel in quali, we didn't maximize the potential, and in the race we simply weren't competitive enough. So like I said, I feel it's a little track dependent, and anyway, in the midfield is so tight that you have to be perfect on the execution every time to get something meaningful. So that's where we are. I think we are aware, that we still have a lot of work ahead of us, but we're not that far away either.
It's another new track for me as well, but it went pretty well in China. Seems like we're able to get out of the box pretty well on the sprint weekend, so we'll try and keep that one up. And looking forward to driving here. The triple header went pretty well for us as a whole. Saudi was a bit of a nothing race, but I think we learnt a lot about the car again. So we'll see what we can take from this weekend.
You're dressed in pink. What do you make of your pretty cool livery for this weekend?
I really like it. We definitely stand out in the paddock. I think we nailed the special livery more than any other team. So I'm really, really happy, and I actually really like it.
When you are in that adaptation process, probably sprint weekends like we saw in China are not the best for you, but at the same time, last 2-3 weekends I've been very quick, straight out of the box with the car, hitting my setup. So I'm hopeful that we can do it again this weekend.
I think I'm happy with the progress so far, and I think the confidence is quite there. But just when you push 100% on the limit, in qualifying, which you kind of face, almost first time in qualifying, right? Because you don't really push 100% until then, which I want to, but at the same time, just starting point is always slightly below than where I used to, start with in FP1. So just have to build. It takes a bit more time to build up in each tracks, and in qualifying, most of the time so far, I experienced new kind of behavior from my car, and just not able to sometimes cope with it. But I wouldn't say car is super difficult. It just needs more time and define where the limit is.
It's going to be a tough weekend, I think, in terms of competitiveness, as he has been lately for us, and the sprint maybe offers us a little bit of an opportunity, especially on Friday. We know the circuit well. We should be prepared. So let's see what we can do.
It's a nice atmosphere here. I've been here as a reserve and been a part of it. So to be racing it this year is pretty exciting. The track looks cool. It's obviously an exciting weekend for us with the livery launch, and I'm obviously being a sprint as well. It makes it very challenging, but also allows more opportunity as well.
Optimistic about this weekend. I'm keen on the sprint format, to be honest. I'm hoping that we can roll out of the garage strong, and that can mean that it puts us in a good place for sprint quali, and let's say doesn't give an opportunity for the other midfield teams to gather their equipment together over practice sessions. It's my first time obviously here. I'm just keen to get amongst it.
New track for me. It's exciting, but you need to be spot on, get the confidence with the track, with the car and everything. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's a nice place to race as well. Miami is a cool city, and just looking forward to driving the car again.